What's shaking you two nights? Yeah, we were just backstage talking about JB flexing on cruises.
Oh,
He
Asking
was
about it.
flexing.
He
Little
was
bit.
straight
Little bit
flexing.
flex.
Speaking of
Flex
flexing on
massive.
Fridays,
It was.
Yeah.
let's see
It
what
was.
we got for you boys and girls as you're congregating. It's Freestyle Friday, right? So let's get right to it.
Let me be the one, baby.
Don't stop. 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 Don't stop.
Just let it go. I'm so lonely. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let it go.
What's going on, YouTube nights? Welcome to Lords of the Long Box. My name is TiVo. Welcome to the cover price comic book shakers of the week for 9/7/2023. Lady Laura, say what's good to people.
You don't have to introduce yourself. He's like, my name's TiVo. Everybody knows you, TiVo.
Yeah,
You're like-
name down there too. Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's for the people
Maybe-
listening, because there's people listening on. Say it, TiVo. What do you got to say to the?
just say Alexa, play Lords of the Long Box podcast on Spotify.
Mine always listens when
That's
you do that.
podcast. There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No
Hi,
dead
guys.
air.
Welcome
No
in.
dead air.
JB, she was good.
How you doing, everybody? We got another fantastic shakers list for you tonight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Mighty Mar.
What y'all know good. This is an interesting one tonight. So very, very
I thought
very
one on here
interesting.
was pretty easy, but then I looked at it, I was like, holy cow. I'm flabbergasted at the price that I got. But
Flabbergasted.
once again, this is a cover price comic book shakers of the week, where we look at some of the biggest sales or most interesting sales found in their exclusive daily shakers. This changes several times every day, so make sure you check it out every day. If you saw the hottest trending books in the market, which we'll do later after we go over this top 10. Also, our fine friends over the Bird City Comics, just going to code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the Bird City Comics store. You guys have anything dropping this Friday? Or is that the
It's kind of a big deal.
It is.
From what I understand, we are the first Gold Key exclusive because somebody bought Gold Key back, and
I
we
met
are
him.
doing a store exclusive.
Yeah, I met him.
Cool.
I met him at WonderCon. Yeah, with the Cover Price crew. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of
so
younger
it's
guy.
kinda neat.
Younger dude. Yep. He said he bought the Gold Key IP, and I said, let me introduce him to people. I met him. I introduced him to like Matt from Cover Price, some other folks. So it's good that he finally was able to launch some things, because when I was talking to him, he bought Gold Key, but he doesn't have a lot of the IP for it. He has some of the IP for it, but
This one's Boris Karloff. Boris
that's
Karloff #1. Yeah, it was
Didn't do
painted and
well.
it's awesome. Very cool.
yeah,
That's
so
tomorrow.
make sure you check in. When does that drop? Tomorrow? Or Friday?
At 9 a.m. Eastern, or 9 a.m. Pacific and noon Eastern.
Friday. So make sure you hit that text line. You know what it is. We're here to see what's shaking today, boys and girls, as we go through it. This is in alphabetical order, so good luck.
Here we go. We got shaker number 1, which is Archie versus Predator, issue number 1 by Phoenix Comic Con Robertson, by Dark Horse, I'm sorry, published in 2015. Few crossover events have been as wildly unexpected and delightfully bizarre as Archie versus Predator number 1. Really? The particular clash of universe took the world by storm as Phoenix Comic Con. Its surreal premise and limited availability has made it a sought-after gem among collectors and enthusiasts. This unique comic brings together America's beloved high school teens and the galaxy's most formidable hunter, the Predator. As Archie and his pals venture to Costa Rica for a spring break filled with innocent party games and beach escapades, there's nothing innocent, first of all, about Costa Rica, okay? They unwittingly stumble into a deadly confrontation. Restricted to a mere 500 copies, this scarcity has only heightened its desirability among collectors, propelling its market value to impressive heights. The last record sale for a raw Near Mint Plus 9.6 through a 10 copy stands at an astounding $329. There are only 2 other recorded sales, both raw, at a Near Mint Plus for $250 from June of this year, and a Near Mint for $99.99 from February of this year. For collectors and fans alike, Archie vs. Predator number 1 remains a cherished and exclusive treasure, a testament to the magic that can happen when the most unlikely universes collide in the world of comics.
I love how Archie and Jughead are still pervy, even though they're fighting for their lives. He's like, I don't know, they're even harder to choose from now because that's the debate is always to pick, the blonde brunette. That's the,
No contest.
still,
You go blonde.
Well, you've got Veronica and Betty fighting the Predator, and
Archie and Jughead
in the
sitting
back.
back to doing nothing. Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, Archie vs. Predator number 1 from Phoenix Comic Con back in 2015, $329 for a raw. Wow. All right, this book I thought people would have, but look more carefully. God damn.
Yeah, pay close attention to the next one. At number 2, we've got Batman, issue number 1, The Newsstand. Shout out C. Woodard and the Great Legend. From 2011, DC Comics. Now, this run is full of bangers. Rarely do we see issue number 1 taking flight quite like this, but we recently got a stunning sale. A CGC 9.8 newsstand came to the market and sold for a whopping $8,500.
Damn!
Closest comparable sale we have is a CGC 9.6 that only sold for $280 last year.
Crazy.
Oh wow!
But why the high price tag? Well, numerous factors. One of which was that this was one of the last newsstand books ever produced by DC. It was realistically only available through Barnes and Noble at the time, with few copies far and few between actually at newsstands. There is no definitive number available for how many were released, but for a rough idea, there were only 705 Barnes and Noble stores in 2011, each receiving an average of, hold on, wait for it, 3 copies per store. Add an additional 100 more to dedicated newsstands, and you could be looking at a sub 3,000 print run. In addition, this book ushered in one of the most beloved Batman runs ever. It's full of potential and one that fans were eyeing before the Batman was released. Well, the Court of Owls would be juicy to see on the big screen, but we have no confirmation that that will come to fruition. All we know is that Batman 2 is happening and recently was confirmed to feature a young 16-year-old Robin. One fan may have decided the potential is too much to pass on and decided to throw down a little FU money. Big time money. What do you guys think of that?
In 2011,
Incredible.
it was right around 2% newsstand versus 98% direct stand. It hadn't changed that much from 2000 to 2013, but if you go from 82 to 90, it was a huge step between going from the newsstand and the advent of comic shops popping up all over the place, right? And then
Right.
anybody could be a comic book shop, because that's the whole. People think the fall of the 90s is about variants and people buying up all the things thinking they could retire
Image
on,
Comics
like,
buying them by
Young
the
Blood
case.
#1. No, it was because the distribution market crashed. It probably is somewhat to that too, but it was because Marvel had their own distributor and everybody. And I remember shopping
Image Comics and all of them. Yeah.
that was before there's one distributor for all. And then I remember, like, I've been to a dude's garage that was called a comic book shop when I was in the Bay Area when we used to drive around and buy comics, right? And I was like, I keep on driving through this neighborhood. Where's this comic shop? I go, oh my god, it's in this garage. But nowadays,
look at 2013, Tim. Too. We even talked then about that bubble. Do you think the bubble is going to burst? Do you think there's going to be a replay of the 1990s? Right. But it's been going steady for how many years now? Almost close to a decade, if you will. And so, with that said, even then, you're seeing something come to fruition for after what 8 or 9 years now. Look at
I would in the 2000s. The market kind of collapsed. You think about it. Really, what resurrected the market was Walking Dead #1 when that came out.
Yes, I remember that.
And then, and then you had the Ultimates run that from Marvel that really kind of reshaped everything.
Yeah.
That's what,
Right.
But there's this interesting documentaries on there and theories. I'm sure there was a lot of variants, a lot of over ordering, and especially the Image guys, they didn't know how to run a business. And that's why, their business failed, so, but they're still
this
around.
cover though,
Did you
Batman
recommend a
cover.
documentary?
Yeah, see, it's from the Image guys.
JV
And,
got that.
everything they
I
did right
know.
and everything
Get
they
your
did
bingo
wrong.
card ready.
Oh boy.
This cover by Capullo, I remember when this came out, and the storyline. If you guys don't remember, the TV series Gotham actually introduced the Court of the Owls. Back, I think came out, Tim, back in 2015 or 16.
Been around, yeah, well, it's been around for a while, yeah.
Interesting story here. Interesting storyline with the Court of Owls. They handed it to Batman. To be honest with you, Batman was sucking in this book. Very interesting story, though. But to have Court of Owls come in the big screen, not very excited about that because they're more of a secret society than a villain, I guess.
Yeah, all the Batman villains are kind of goofy though. The Penguin, all these Mr. Freeze. We'll see.
But the way that the last Batman movie was shot, the way it was so noir and dark and gritty, doesn't that really translate to this storyline? I could see this storyline.
I think it does too.
Flowing
It's gonna be corny
right
and
into
really neat.
Batman 2 and it being epic.
All right.
I agree.
issue #1, the newsstand, $8,500 and a 9.8. Oof, man, what you could have bought for my collection with that amount. Anyway, what do we have next?
Oh man, this is an interesting one. Okay, Child's Play 2, #1. This is from Innovation back in 1991. Chucky, the brainchild of writer Don Mancini, was brought to life on the silver screen in the 1988 film Child's Play. Mancini's twisted creation quickly became an iconic figure in the horror genre, and his transition to the comic book universe kind of seemed inevitable. In 1991, Innovation unleashed that nightmare in the form of Child's Play 2, #1. This chilling issue marked the first appearance of Chucky, the killer doll, in the comic book world, and it sent shivers down the spines of horror aficionados and collectors alike. Recent sales data paints a captivating picture for this unique gem. The most recent sale, a staggering $66 for an 8.0 graded copy, represents an astonishing leap, surpassing the previous sale by over 4 times. It's also noteworthy that a near mint 9.8 graded copy sold for a mere $200 on August 31st of this year. Many collectors consider this price grossly undervalued, considering Chucky's iconic status in the horror genre. Child's Play 2, #1 likely finds itself overlooked due to being tied to the second film in the series rather than the original. Interestingly, the success of the film did lay the foundation, but it was the second movie that truly propelled Chucky into pop culture stardom. What keeps Chucky ticking, both in movies and in comics, is a blend of horror, humor, and sheer audacity. The franchise's enduring appeal lies in its ability to provoke a spine-tingling chill one moment and elicit a dark chuckle the next. This unique combination has captivated audience for decades. In fact, the Chucky TV series is gearing up for its third season, setting to premiere on October 4th of this year. That's a testament to the enduring fascination with the diminutive, malevolent doll.
Whoa.
Child's Play number 2 is not merely a collector's item. It's a tangible piece of horror history. Its value is poised to rise, mirroring the enduring popularity of the Chucky franchise.
Good job,
Ooh,
Laura.
mic drop,
Wow.
Laura.
Minute
Killed it.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job.
That's interesting that they never did a comic for the first Child's Play film, but then for the sequel they did. So for Child's Play 2 issue number 1, maybe people don't even realize that's his first appearance unless they're hardcore Chucky fans. But
how many series of Chucky's came out? Do you remember?
In the movies? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But what?
Oh
Tell
my
me about
goodness.
this. Does anyone else watch the show? I binge watched it for a little while. And it was
Nightmares.
like,
I saw like 1 and 2. That's it. And I just kind of lost it.
I don't know what channel it's on. What channel is it on?
oh, when it first came out, was it a Netflix thing? I think it was Netflix.
No, it wasn't
Was it?
Netflix.
It wasn't?
Man, I mean, maybe that there's a horror one. You ever seen that Scream or some shit? There's
it
some channel that
Amazon?
you can do it on Amazon. You can pretty much get anything. If not, you can buy it for rent it for $3.99.
It was on USA.
Oh my god, USA.
USA.
No wonder nobody's seen it. It's on USA Network. Child's Play number 2 or Child's Play 2
In
issue
between
number
watching
1.
Law and Order, I threw in a couple of Chuckies.
Oh, you in Law and Order. Anyway,
Can I ask you guys a serious question? All three of you.
No.
Like,
Seriously?
this type of film, this scares me. Like, genuinely scares me. Do you guys get scared by this type stuff?
No.
Not so
No.
much. What scares you
Mhm.
about it though? Is it because there's like a demon in the doll, or
Yeah, to me, I grew up with porcelain dolls for one. My grandmother used to make me
there we
porcelain
go.
dolls, and my mom put them all over my room, and they would watch me sleep.
Yeah.
And
They're conduits.
I always thought it was
Obviously,
kind of
it's,
dumb because I don't care if the little thing's wielding a knife. I'll still punt it. We'll field goal kick that some bitch to the other side of the room, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I meant
That's
shit.
what I always
Laura?
thought.
Laura seems like you have some deep-seated trauma going on here. So
Yeah,
if you
with
need
porcelain
some
dolls.
therapy, please let me know.
well,
Okay.
Slappy from Goosebumps terrified me too.
Oh,
I don't even get
Goosebumps,
that.
Yes.
Wait till you
dummy.
see the new Exorcist film.
So,
Ooh, yeah.
Laura's not much of a horror film.
No,
fan.
I am chicken
No.
shit
Okay.
through and
Did
through.
you see Annabelle?
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
What about The Exorcist?
No, you
watch
know
The
what? That
have
was
you seen The
playing on the
Exorcist?
boat, and it was creepy as hell.
Won't do that. Mm-mm.
As long as they're not playing Titanic on the boat, then I'm okay with whatever they watch.
All right. Child's Play 2, issue number 1 for 66 bones and a 7.0 from September 4th. Came out January 1991. There was a cool
I was
comic
in
for everything
first
back
grade.
then.
No wonder I was scared.
Time for your Friends of Old Marvel.
Yes, we got Shaker number 4 by Marvel, published in 1973. The legendary Jack Kirby had a hand in creating the fan favorite Doctor Doom, so it's fitting he would produce one of the best Doom covers out there. We've seen a rise in the collectability of Doctor Doom covers over the last few years, fetching premiums as the markets ebb and flow. Doom is often depicted as a tough cover, such as Marvel Superheroes number 20, with lots of black and whites. And then you have this book, an all-white cover that's oversized to boot. This book was notorious for sporting damage, as it was early fanzine that was made with a low quality paper and typically not well cared for. Recently, a rather rare CGC 9.6 copy, one of 3 on the census, came to market and sold for a new heights of $750. It's the highest grade to reach the market and the only sale in our database, with the closest being 2 CGC 8.0 copies that sold this year for $350 or less. There are only 42 books total on the said census, with 2 of them being a 9.8. It's a tough to find book and tougher to find in a premium grade. But if you're willing to settle for a less than premium copy, this book can be had for less than $100 when it hits the market.
There you go. So just buy it for $100. Like, what's the famous issue in this one? That it's the first time you see Giant Size X-Men. It predates Giant Size X-Men or something like that. And one of the other Foom issues, I want to say
Does it?
Foom,
Okay.
Foom #1. Yeah, there's like
that
nowadays they have these
knowledge.
preview magazines, and people spec on those. Remember
Yes,
Miles Morales?
yes.
So this was like that kind of thing. It was like and they would have an advert, and it was like
Oh,
for
okay.
hey, Giant Size X-Men are coming, and so people would it would do a little 3-page preview or some shit like that. So yeah,
Yeah,
Foom.
and this
Foom 10,
predates
look at that,
Wizard
everybody
magazine.
dropping
You
the
you guys
knowledge.
remember Wizard, right?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
had
so-
Wizard, then
Yes.
preview, and then,
Yeah, but this
okay.
was, I mean, not as well put together like Wizard was. I mean, Wizard had
I
great
wouldn't it be more akin
articles.
to like a Marvel Age? Didn't they just preview?
Yeah, but it was pretty rough for 1973 when the Marvel Age came out. They obviously had to condense it a lot better. But for its time, it was if you could find them, good luck.
Mm.
So Foom issue
Nice.
4 from 1973, $750 for 9.6.
Tim, what is Foom again?
Friends of Old Marvel.
Friends of Old Marvel. Thank you very much.
Just OLE.
Wow.
Just
You
OL.
are brilliant. You are brilliant, Tivo.
Speaking of brilliant, look at this cover.
Wow, look at that.
You know what? I haven't mentioned this in a while. If you're watching this on the Rewind or you're watching this live, make sure to comment your favorite cover because this one is mine for tonight's show. Next up, we've got George Perez's Sirens, issue #1, the Adam Hughes 2014 New York Comic Con Virgin, originally published in 2015 from Boom Studios. Now, George Perez had a legendary career at Marvel and DC as both an artist and a writer, with hits that included the New Teen Titans, Wonder Woman, Crisis on Infinite Earth, and Superman. His career seemed to be winding down when he left the New 52 Superman over creative differences, so it was surprising when he signed an exclusive contract with Boom Studios to create his own books. Unfortunately for Perez, this series was not received well and would become his swan song in the industry. The Adam Hughes variant of this book was originally offered. Now, pay attention to this one. This was originally offered at New York Comic Con with a minuscule print run of 200, but failed to sell out.
Jeez.
One more time. This was offered at New York Comic Con with a minuscule print run of 200, but failed to sell out.
Wow.
As later, it would be offered in the Diamond Preview catalog with a street date of March 2015. All these years later, raw books are nearly impossible to find, and there are very few sales in general. So it was nice to see a graded 9.8 sell for $595 on September 4th, almost a year after the last sale of $499. We will always remember Perez for his decades-long career, but with the help of Hughes, this may be the best parting gift to the comic book community.
Wow.
I remember this. I remember the Sirens series. I remember this so well. And I remember that George Perez, of course, it was his. And speaking of Adam Hughes, I think I was first introduced to his artwork when I started collecting Witchblade. And he used to do the covers of Witchblade and Tomb Raider. And then since then, I
Did
just
he do Witchblade, Adam Hughes?
Oh yeah,
I got Turner
he-
with Witchblade. That's what I think.
No. He did some covers on Witchblade and he did some covers on Tomb Raider. Oh my god, beautiful.
I've seen his
beautiful.
Tomb Raider one. It's
Definitely
good.
Tomb Raider. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know what? I bet you there are some Witchblades in there. We gotta go peep that out. Marty's got all kind of good knowledge.
Hey, JB, why did they say swan song?
Oh, I don't know. Tell me, Laura.
So a swan, before it dies, supposedly it sings really beautifully. So it's a metaphor for somebody who's leaving on a really good, stylish note.
That's kind of sad and up.
Are you leaving, Laura? Is that what you're saying?
No, he said swan song in the
Oh.
description.
In the read, it was in the read.
No,
I
I
thought
just
you were-
want to.
I
I'm gonna
thought
kill a
you were
swan just
maybe-
to make it see what kind of sound it makes.
Yeah.
No.
I thought maybe you
No.
were. Hey, check
Oh,
this
if it
out,
just
Tim.
dies in like natural age or something.
Hey,
Yeah,
check
it's
this
like-
out, Tim. Maybe you were trying to caveat what he was saying on the swan.
Oh God, that's an old Lords of Long Box thing. Marty didn't understand the word what caveat meant.
Caveat.
So, Yeah.
Goes
So
back to
George
the
Perez
days.
and Sirens #1, Adam Hughes at
Yes.
2014 New York City Comic Con Virgin variant, $5.95 for 9.8. Quite gorgeous too. And it's once again, but so
I'm getting
kind of
some really
covers.
good ones tonight, I feel like. All right. So next up, we have Iron Man #9. This is the movie 1:25 ratio from 2013. 10 covers were released for this issue of Iron Man. 9 of the covers were variations of each other. The 10th cover was this 1:25 variant photo image of Robert Downey Jr. hurtling towards Earth in a malfunctioning iron suit, missing his helmet. A stunning photo cover and so smartly distributed the same month as Iron Man 3 hit the theaters. A lot has to be said about the photo covers gaining in popularity lately, especially for the MCU. We have recently covered incredible sales of Invincible Iron Man #25. That's the movie photo cover, and John Wick #2. This one can be added to the list as it sold for a blunt $699 this week and a graded 9.8 CGC copy. Only 5 transactions have been tracked since its release, with an initial sale of a 9.8 for $80. Photo covers have their reach back in history of comic book covers. From the early days of romantic teen comics, photo covers sometimes work great and fit right in line with the issue and story. Sometimes they land outside the lines and leave us questioning. Like the oddly approved The Rifleman #10 cover, or the seemingly mis-photoshopped cover of Marvel Team Up #128. Don't let these past history lessons get in your way of collecting the modern photo covers, because they are definitely making a stamp in the sales timeline now.
So back in 2013, nobody gave
Killing
a
it tonight,
shit about photo covers. I guarantee you. So here's a fun factoid for you. There is a Doctor Strange book that has it's like photo quality picture of somebody, and she
Okay.
had them removed from. She was end up being she's a Christian singer, and the Doctor Strange title was obviously very supernatural, so they wanted them to. God, if you remember, she used to be a pop singer. Let me see, Doctor Strange.
By the way, I
She's-
think from going forward, Laura, you need to have a couple cocktails before you get on, because you are crushing your reads tonight. Fantastic.
it's
work.
not.
So it's Amy Grant. If you guys
Amy
Amy
Grant.
Grant.
I used to love
Amy
Amy
Grant.
Grant.
yeah, so
She's a
she
Christian
was-
singer now, isn't she?
Yeah, she got
always has
sued
been, yeah.
by she got sued by Marvel because they featured her likeness on a cover, and it wasn't like a photo cover, but it was close to it. It was Doctor Strange. I want to say Sorcerer Supreme #13 or #15. And she actually sued Marvel over it. So, because
No
she became,
kidding.
this Christian singer. Yeah. So, if you look at it, it's pretty, doesn't make not harmless nowadays, but, it was, a horror supernatural book that she didn't want any part of. So, Iron Man #9, #1, the 1:25 photo cover variant, movie photo cover variant, 700 bones and 9.8. Man.
Wow.
All right. Now it's time to get weird.
Yes. #7 is Rick and Morty #1. Ryan Hill, artist proof lenticular by Oni Press, published in 2015. There are more than a dozen variants of Rick and Morty #1 released in April 2015 for the initial Oni Press launch. Fans of the series were offered several variants, including Comic-Con exclusives from San Diego Comic-Con and Emerald City, in addition to free Comic Book Day version. Historically, the most sought version of this book has been the first print, blank sketch variant, and the Roland 150 ratio variant until now. A high grade, raw copy of Rick and Morty #1 Ryan Hill artist proof lenticular variant recently sold for more than $500 on eBay on September 2nd. These rare artist proof editions were created so the publisher could see what the lenticular treatment looked like before they committed to the limited print run. The 2,000 count run for this book was reserved for distribution at the San Diego Comic-Con. So the artist proof edition are evidenced by the number designated AP, where the edition number would usually be. The previous recorded high for this book was $330 in May of 2021. This would likely be the most rare version of the book, and while it's unclear on what the print run on this is, there are a couple copies stating at $1,000 on eBay.
What?
I do remember Rick and Morty #1. I mean, now this book right here has been very popular for a lot of Rick and Morty fans, and this book is constantly going up. And I remember this from years ago of this being just like one of the books that people are sought after for some reason.
Rick and Morty,
it's-
they always have some type of big, like WonderCon. They'll have variants for San Diego Comic-Con. Every few cons a season, they'll have a Rick and Morty special. Like my friends at CovrPrice Comics actually had the artist there. Have you ever seen that meme of the guy sitting at the table and it tells you, "Tell me I'm wrong," blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so he was filling in the blanks, like, and I bought like a couple of them, and I was telling him like, Captain Kirk is a bitch. I told him to write that.
Right.
Some other
Right,
things.
right.
You know, it was funny. It was like I got one personalized for somebody else, and it was funny that he was just writing. He was drawing on these. So, Rick and Morty #1, the Ryan Hill artist proof lenticular.
One last
press.
comment. This may be the only lenticular cover I've ever seen worth any money. Can someone else name another lenticular cover that's actually worth?
Well, there
anything?
was one that came out that people poo-pooed on, but people still had it. But all right, it's time to get way back when to what we love.
Wow,
Love it.
It's a
look at
it's a
the
redhead
colors
in a red dress.
You guys know I'm a big fan of these old horror type of covers.
This cover's
amazing.
fantastic. Look at the colors popping.
Bondage, if you will.
Bondage.
Yep.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right. Next up at number 8. By the way, we got 113 strong in the live. You guys are fantastic.
wow.
If you are enjoying the show tonight, take a moment and hit the thumbs up. Appreciate you. At number 8, we've got Suspense Comics issue number 4, originally published in 1944 from Temerson Helmet and Continental.
Oh yeah, them.
Wait, is that? Why, yes, it is. Suspense Comics number 4 from the Golden Age, featuring none other than L.B. Cole's premier style on its cover. This book has gained immense popularity among collectors due to its pre-code depiction of bondage. Despite not being widely recognized as a key, it holds significant value as the first appearance of Mr. Nobody. Notice him in the right-hand corner? No, I don't get it. Okay.
He's
Yeah,
the
he's kinda
character in the
standing there.
fedora.
I get
Yeah,
it.
and
And the fedora, yes.
It's worth mentioning that this was Cole's second published cover, following Terrific Comics issue number 3 in May of the same year. Recently, a CGC 7.5 copy was sold for a staggering $21,250, breaking all previous records. It's interesting to note that among the 22 copies of this issue on the census, there's just one with a higher grade of 9.0 somewhere out there.
Shout out to Robert Pendergrass with a $5 super chat. Yay! Sorry, we don't have special applause for anything.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
you.
Pendergrass.
But look at this.
Appreciate you.
That is I know, Laura, you got a thing for blondes with the red dress, but what about the redhead with a red dress?
I mean, this would start a whole other rabbit hole for me. There are so many blondes, but this is beautiful. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, we got
Hey,
a 2 pound
What?
chat.
This is a record.
Yeah,
We've just had a record.
Love you
2
guys,
super
Laura.
chats in the show.
I think that's a pound.
Wow.
Is that a pound? That's a British.
That's a
currency.
pound, brother. That is
All right,
a pound.
man.
Thank you.
That's
Not a
worth,
euro.
I think,
Nice.
$4 in U.S. currency, isn't it?
Wow.
It probably is.
Probably.
And the pound drops after a EU or something. I don't know, man. We don't know. Please tell us. Anyways, Suspense comic number 4 from 1944, 7.5. Time machine shit right there. This one is weird. I've never seen this one before.
Oh, this is me. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 30. This is the Laird sketch variant from Mirage in 2009. By 2009, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle co-creator Peter Laird had taken control of the TMNT empire. But by this time, the print run of the Mirage series in its 4th volume was incredibly low, averaging around 1,000 copies, and instead of publishing monthly, it was releasing yearly. To compound things, Turtle Mania had all but faded, and Laird was nearing retirement age, and he was thinking about putting his kids through college. While he was in charge of running operations at Mirage, Laird still churning out stories featuring his and Kevin Eastman's creation with help from artist Jim Lawson. According to his blog, Peter Laird said that when this issue was being made, he was in talks to make a 5th Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, but soon after he sold the property to Viacom. One of the last issues of the run, issue number 30, came with a $10 cover price tag and was distributed directly by Mirage. One of the limited 1,000 copies, there were 250 signed and included a full headshot sketch by Laird. As a TMNT fan, the issue marks a piece of history, and if you're lucky enough to find this variant, it has a special remark. Just this week, a 9.8 CGC copy of this book sold for a high of $1,800. According to the CovrPrice robot, a raw copy of this rare book sold at $530 in 2021. Easily distinguishable by its deep blue cover featuring a hammerhead shark. It also features the first appearance of the cyborg Jammerhead. JB, I totally messed this one up because Anthony's staring at me and he made me nervous.
That was fine. Yeah, that was fine.
Anthony, what are you doing?
He made me nervous. He's like watching me. I only get nervous around him. Jesus, Aunt. Okay. Anyway.
All right. So TMNT Teenage Ninja Turtles issue number 30. That was a $10 cover price on this. That's nuts in 2009. But yeah, I mean, I think Eastman and Laird have come back together because, one of them is like, I don't want it to spin out into this craziness and all this merchandising that you're doing. Watch that show, that documentary on Netflix. Boom, drink if you're playing at home. How the toys are made, I believe it's called, and they look for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones.
Yes, I remember.
But all of them are good, but that one's especially good because it goes in depth, and they finally interview. I don't want to give it away, so let's just peep it out, man.
Yeah,
I think here's your chance to get on the board. I've seen this a lot.
One of my favorite covers right here, man. This is by Andy Gradnov, and I tell you what, I remember seeing this book on the back walls for quite some time, and even then, it was selling for a good chunk of change. But Shaker number 10 is Uncanny Avengers number 1, Andy Gradnov, 1 of 75, by Marvel, published in 2012. Since her debut in comics and cinema, the Scarlet Witch has been a fan favorite character. The reality-bending hero has played significant roles in shaping mutant history and the MCU. In this coveted cover, Wanda Maximoff takes the spotlight with a stunning cover by Andy Gradnov. This retailer variant is not only a gorgeous cover, but also holds several minor first appearances. Among these appearances is the first team appearance of the Avengers Unity Squad, Havoc, Captain America, Thor. Another minor team appearance makes their debut, the S-Men, composed of lesser-known villains like Goatface Girl and Living Wind. This issue has tons of raw sales since its debut. However, it has only had a handful of graded 9.8 sales. According to the CGC census, there are currently 238 graded books, 73 of which are 9.8s. A CGC 9.8 recently sold for a mind-blowing $675. This sale was only 2 times the amount it sold for back in May of 2022. Its previous record high sale was back in January 22 when it sold for $400. This wild jump in value may cause more of those graded 9.8 books to hit the aftermarket soon.
Yeah, I would say if you have this, and next time Adi Granov is doing a signing, have his wife sign it.
Jeez.
It's modeled after his
wife.
Yeah, remember we talked about this before.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's not the pose, it's the look on her face.
That's a wife
very
look.
Sensuous, very gorgeous. I so wanted this. I remember seeing this on the back walls, and I was just like, I want this book. I want this book.
That looks like just Google his old wife from back then because she used to go to shows.
That's what
with him
she's saying. You want this book.
You want my book.
Yeah, that's Russian supermodel written all over it right there, man. All right, we're going to see what's shaking today, boys and girls. I do a seamless transition.
The seamless production quality of the Lords of the Long Box in full display.
Look at that.
Yes.
Here's the top 10 at Wonder Woman cover. I just
Yep,
sold
yep.
this in a 9.8 today. Star Wars Air 2.
What?
Oh,
Ooh, I
man.
think that's
You
too
know I
soon,
want that.
Tito. I think you
Boom.
should have
No,
waited.
Laura, did you find me an Heir to the Empire yet?
So, full disclosure, I have not gone to the warehouse. I've
Okay.
been busy with a million other things and I haven't actually gone, but I will.
Okay.
It will happen.
Okay.
I sold this today too.
Yes.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
I
What
kept
grade?
this.
What-
You did.
I sold about 50-60% of my
What?
collection today, including Hulk 181 and Tomb of Dracula number 10.
What?
But I
Yeah.
kept
Tito, why?
I kept this, kept my Strange Tales, I
I
kept my
I
X-Men
actually
run.
I sold that Fantastic Four number 48. Shoot, about
I'm
3,
glad
4
I'm
years
glad I
ago.
didn't sell it because wow, that's a raw 7.5 for 5,574.
Yeah.
I have a
Wow.
CGC
I mean,
7.5.
Back then, I think I only sold it for like 350 or something like that.
Yeah, it's gone up.
I can't believe you sold everything. You're be Lord of the Short Box now.
I'm gonna be Lord of the No Box.
Nobody.
Mm.
No, I got rid of like 4 long boxes too, just full of like, back issues and filler issues. But I was like, just hey, if you're gonna take them all for this price, but you have to take these along with it, as filler because
Yeah.
first you're gonna pick and choose. I said I do not want to put
Right.
anything away. I'm at that point. But
Right,
look
right.
at this Blue Bolt
That's
Weird
cool.
Tales
Look at
of
that.
Terror.
I love it. I love it, man.
the
Oh
colors
my
pop on
goodness.
that,
Look at
man.
that.
Marty, I love
Vibrant.
your enthusiasm. You're like, I love it.
I love it.
1750 for a 3.5.
Thank you, Laura. Thank
Halloween
you.
is right around the corner, boys and girls. You know what I mean? It's Halloween comic covers.
I get so passionate when I see something I really love, and especially when it comes to those old.
I kept these 3 as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice keeps. Nice
Yeah,
keeps.
kept an outdone.
Dark Phoenix, Ghost Rider. Yep.
So, TiVo, in the end, do you think you just pare it down to maybe, like 20 big books and then everything else goes bye-bye?
I
What are you trying
literally
to do?
have just a short box of slabs. And
Wow.
I'm getting rid of everything, and they're gonna go, insects, and because I still have this stuff to go through that is a lot of like Bronze Age keys and like
Yeah.
but I have a lot of stuff that's
Yeah, ship
That-
all the Bronze Age keys my
Tim,
way. I'll take care of it.
that is so interesting you say that because I've been kind of on the fence of kind of getting rid of a lot of long boxes as well, and just going to certain keys,
Yeah.
and just bringing it down to things that are a little bit more, I guess, something you love, but you maintain, but not having
No,
so
buy it
many
all.
books.
Buy everything.
Yeah.
See,
Why-
pronounce that.
when you first get in, you're like runs, and then after you've
Yeah,
been doing it a
yeah.
while and you run out of space, you're like, fuck these runs. I just want the keys. Take all these
Right.
fucking books out
Well,
of here.
I'm such a completist though, that it's like when I started a run, I had to have everything within that run because I'm like, okay, it's just, I don't know, maybe an OCD thing, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's how I am with my X-Men run. I kept my X-Men run from all Silver Age to all the stuff up to 144. I would get rid of 150 up to about 350 today.
Wow.
So there you go.
Wow.
El sorprendente hombre arana. God, I can never say that. But
Hombre
this is a
Havana.
Mexican Spider-Man whose actual story was changed from what the original was. So if you ever see these,
So what issue would that have been at where it broke off and they said, screw you, we're not killing our favorite character. You guys can eat it. We're going to go ahead and write our own comic now.
let's see.
So copy 808 says 10,000 books strong. Let me check my CLZ because I know I'm like up there somewhere.
Isn't the wedding issue here? This one. This is the one.
Right there.
Yeah, that's the one. Number 128. This is sexy too. I like this.
Holy
What's sexy?
moly.
Ooh, that
Talking
is
about
sexy.
midriff.
I like
Oh,
that too.
that is
Very
sexy.
Vampirella.
That's the old Vampirella. Yeah, that's Vampirella, man. That used to be
Yeah.
a cover by they used to use on that magazine cover.
Yeah.
Huh.
I have one of these. I don't know which one it is, but I have one of these else, whatever you call it. or one of these.
Weird Science. People are
First
specking on
appearance of
Bat.
Scarecrow. No.
People specking on
See,
Robin.
that
This is the
cover
first-
scared the
that's
shit out
Batman
of me as a kid,
457,
man.
yeah.
I hated spiders, and that thing just creeped me out.
We all hate
so
spiders, I think.
I'm
Which one?
shocked. Hulk 180.
Everybody.
I had 180, and I think I sold it for dirt cheap, man, at one point in time. And looking at the price it is now, I'm like, man, if I just would have waited about another decade.
Happens to all of us, Marty. and
First
salt.
cameo appearance of Wolverine. That'll really get people. But yeah, so I was looking at this one. Where was it? This one. This one is pretty interesting because this is like Bronze Age, Uncanny Tales from the Grave from Marvel. Look at that.
Look at
Whoa.
that.
Mine too.
I love it.
There it
is.
is.
1974, man. That is dope.
Tivo, will you
That
go
was-
back? And there's one on the far right that I want to see. Vault of. Wait, hold on. Down. That
Vault of
one.
Horror.
Far right. Yeah.
Yes, Vault
I
of
want to see what
Horror.
he's doing, about to do to his wife. He's about to chop her head
Oh,
off.
about to fuck
You
her
see
up.
him?
I love it.
Oh my
It's
god.
very Christmassy, right? Ah.
Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, it's
He's
a Christmas
yeah.
issue. Yeah,
That
He
was
is
so
in
common. That was so
Full
common, kind of
swing
creepy
ready.
stories.
He's
Yeah,
full
sure.
swing.
she cheated on him, and so he's like, "Merry Christmas to my wife," and then he's just gonna chop her.
Laura,
head off.
did you ever used to watch the Creep Show series?
I've seen a couple, but
Well,
not all of them. Because again,
you've got to watch them because they take on the covers of what you see there, those type of covers. So it's fun. It's scary but fun. And I know you don't like horror, but you know it's kind of a fun scary.
J. Scott Campbell. We were just talking about that.
J. Scott Campbell on Witchblade.
End of an era.
we were talking about
Witchblade
Hughes on
150,
Witchblade, which
yeah.
I've never seen.
I'll bring it out. I'll post it. I'll post it on IG. I'll find
So
it.
this was the last
on
this is-
yeah.
the social media. Make
Yeah.
sure to
This is
tag
the last issue in the run.
LOTLB.
But look at that. That's gorgeous.
Beautiful cover. Yeah.
Yeah. So wow, Witchblade went all the way to 150. I remember there was a
It
Witchblade
hits.
TV show on TNT. It was awful.
It was awful.
It was.
That was terrible. It was so
First
terrible.
appearance of
It
Lando.
did the comic book no justice.
Hold
Whatsoever.
on,
Terrible.
real quick, Tivo. I want you to pull up the New Mutants 98. I was looking at my New Mutants 98 just recently, and you know this is a very, very famous book, obviously, right? For
Of course.
first
yeah,
appearance of
yeah.
Deadpool. Please pull it up, make it big screen,
I
and
still
I want
do
everyone
not have that.
to tell me what you think of Deadpool's feet.
Really?
I mean,
are
his
you
legs
poking
are-
at
It's just
Rob?
his
Are
feet.
you
Look at the
poking
leg.
Rob again?
Look
Well,
at
that's
how
r-
thin his
but that was-
leg is.
That was
No,
the
look how
90s
long
Rob
they are
that
in
his
Liefeld.
comparison
knee?
to his torso.
Is his
There-
knee
there's-
blown out, or are those his calves?
You
Are
know,
those
Maybe
his
they're
his
like those
calves?
heels.
he's
They're
come
like
a
tiny
long
heels.
way. He's come a long way with his feet. He's come a long way with
Look
his
how
drawings.
thin the knees are.
But I mean, look how high his legs are too
Yeah.
in relation to his torso. It's like
Yeah.
Oh,
nothing
it's
but arms.
just-
and
You're talking
legs.
about Rob
Bad.
Liefeld now,
It's
back then in
bad.
the 90s. He was, and I think there was a joke, a sort of a pun in a movie somewhere about his feet in a movie.
I
I
think
can't
it was-
remember which movie.
I think it was from the Deadpool movie.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Only
yeah.
fitting.
I enjoy his art, to be
had
honest
fi-
with
I
you.
had f- I had
I
five
do.
copies at
I-
one point.
He met
That's it.
Adam, and he was so nice. So that won me over. That he was nice to my kid.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
skipped leg
And,
there.
and like I said, he's come a long way with his
Well,
drawing, and I've
I
seen a lot of his
introduced them
recent
to
stuff.
Laura's son because he goes. Rob Liefeld goes to my comic shop. So I mean, if you ever see him, he'll talk you up. And then and
Thanks.
Laura's son is a giant Deadpool fan. I said, go in and say hi to him. And he goes,
Uh-huh.
no. I was like, hey, Rob, this dude wants to say hello to you. And but
Adam
'Cause I was
calls me.
also-
he's
I was
like,
wearing a
"Mom,
Cover
I
Price
need him."
Cover Price shirt at the same time, and
Right.
Rob had questioned Cover Price online or about, and he
By the way,
criticized-
shout out to
so-
CLG Comics. Actually
Yeah.
sends me a shirt. Unlike
LG Comics. Wow.
Cover Price.
Hey, can I get
or
some shirts, man?
Evo.
I'd like to,
saying,
maybe
feel
put,
See, that's some Cover
And
Price shirts. How about that?
I wear a medium, by the way. So, if anybody wants to
All
send
right.
some
You're
Medium
a
and
solid
a-
medium, Marty.
And
Solid.
a crop top for Laura. All right.
Yes, I want a crop top. I want a cute little
Crop top.
yeah. That'd
And,
make me happy.
and a tank top for
One for
JB. Got it. Yeah.
JB in a crop top.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're right around the 1 hour mark. So I'll tell you what, leave a comment after this video posts, and we're going to give away something on Tuesday's show. How about that?
Tivo, I have a question before you go.
Sure.
Who's your favorite artist?
Ooh.
I actually don't know this about you, and I've been wondering about it a lot. We
Yeah.
all know
Modern
certain
is
names,
Michael
right?
Turner. Modern is
Turner,
Michael
okay.
Turner.
Ooh.
Michael Turner's
huge
good,
fan.
yes.
John Byrne's run, Alpha Flight,
Mm-hmm.
X-Men. That was my formative years of collecting. Is that Mark Silvestri?
Silvestri's
but
good,
Turner
yeah.
by far my favorite modern artist. And then my favorite when I started
Rest
collecting
in peace.
was Michael Turner, rest in peace, was John Byrne when I was growing up, because I had somebody mentor me when I was collecting comics, and he goes, you should collect creators as well. So I started collecting Fantastic Four 232 on up. That's the first time John Byrne had written and drawn for Fantastic Four. Then I found out, whoa, he did X-Men too. So I was like going back buying that. And then of course, Alpha Flight. So those were my creative two, really. I meant
Tim, your mentor. I've heard stories of your mentor in the past when we used to do shows together. And I am just hoping one of these days that you would just elaborate more on who
I did
he
it
was.
before. Sure. So
I'd love to hear because he
was in
sounded
high
like an
school,
amazing guy. Yeah,
he was a freshman in high school, and I was in 5th grade, right? And he used to just say, "Hey, man, just come on and check out my comics." And nothing. He wasn't diddling me or anything funky like that. He was very cool to me. Probably because I was as tall as him already. I was 5th grade.
Diddling.
So he would come out. He showed me comics. He goes, "Yo, this," and that's the first time I held an Amazing Fantasy 15 in my hands. His copy.
Right.
He said, "This is the first ever Spider-Man." I said, "No shit." And then he was telling me, "Well, what if?" And then he goes, "John Byrne is a fantastic writer and artist. You got to start collecting him." And so I forgot his name, unfortunately, but I do remember him. Yeah. I remember later on in my teenage years, I saw him at a high school football game that because I think we're 4 years apart. So he was probably a senior when I was a freshman. Okay. And I remember saying, "Hey, what's going on?" This and that. He's still collecting. He goes, "Oh yeah, And the first time I went to comic shops was right around the 5th grade. I used to ride my bike, or I take the bus to like downtown San Jose, the sketchy part.
Tim, was there comic shops even then? I mean, most of it was
you
going to 7-Eleven.
Oh, well, my 7-Eleven
in 79 comic shops.
That's where I stole most of my comics.
7-Eleven. 84 was full blown.
Yeah, so I had a 7-Eleven where the bus would pick me up for our neighborhood. So I decided I wanted to go that one because I would play video games. And then the spinner rack was right by the video games, and they put it on. And I would bring in my folder.
You know where the story is going, don't you?
I would slide like 3 or 4 comics inside of my binder, and I'd just put it in there because they're busy. Like, dude, 7-Eleven at 8 in the morning. The people are getting coffee. They don't, they just got
these. Who is not taking a few Image comic books from 7-Eleven? You've got to be full of crap. Come on, now.
Marvel
Laura. This is way before your time, Laura.
I was born in '84, so I don't know.
No, the first time I went to a comic shop, it was magical. Like it was like 6 months maybe into my collecting, and I went to a comic shop, and my first wall book was like what if #1. And I went, wow, it's $20. I got that or something crazy.
That's why you asked me to sell my copy at one time. I have a what if #1. And I remember one time, dude, you want to sell that? I'm like, this is my first one, man. It's
my nostalgia buy. I think I have a 9.8. Shit, did I sell it today? I mean, I sold it today.
My first experience with a comic book store, I grew up in a Air Force base, and so we didn't have LCS overseas. We had books, what they called bookstores, and they have just a whole variety of different books, magazines, and things like that. And I remember those the comic books. You'd open up, they had those Jostin
Mark Jeweler.
Yeah,
dude, you should have bought all those. This is worth so much now.
Yeah, you didn't think about it then, but
I sell those on regular.
Yeah, JB sells everything, you guys. If you were looking for anything, that's your guy.
All right,
a few things.
Laura, any last
New
words?
Mutant number 98, JB. Keep an eye out for me, brother.
You need a New Mutants 98, really? You want a raw or slab?
It doesn't matter, brother. It doesn't matter as long as I get one in my copy.
All right.
And Heir to the Empire 1 through 4, Laura. Keep a lookout for me.
I'll probably go in like next week at some point. I will go into the office. I swear. I was doing other things like paperwork.
No rush.
Last words, guys. Make sure that if you are a Gold Key fan, please come out and support Bird City Comics tomorrow when we launch Boris Karloff. That is the first store exclusive ever, which is kind of it's a neat thing for us. That goes live at 12 p.m. Eastern. And please make sure that you are following JB Discovery Bay Comics on IG as well as Marty. Marty, what is your IG handle? You need to
Comic Book Fanatics. Comic Book Fanatics.
Comic Book Fanatics. There you go.
Yes.
Because these guys are great. So that's it.
Speaking of it, JB, any last words?
Yeah, I'm going to Rose City Comic Con. Is anybody else up here in the Pacific Northwest going to be checking that show out? If you are, let's go have a drink.
I don't know if like KRS Comics, Bird City Comics, none of them have a booth there.
It's opposite of it's going up against Baltimore. So I mean, come on.
Well, I know a lot of people go to they love Emerald City Comic Con. Like all the vendors tell me they love going to Emerald City Comic Con. So and that's That's in Seattle, right?
Seattle. That's in Seattle. Yeah.
This one's in Portland.
Is that where
right?
you're from,
This is
JB?
in
Are you in
Portland.
Seattle?
I'm in the suburbs of Portland. Yeah.
Suburbs. Okay, Portland.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Marty. Any last words?
Guys, I will tell you the thing about this show that stands out is how we flow on this show. Okay, the bantering, just the charisma we have on this show, no dead air whatsoever. It is a great show, even just to listen on a podcast. You guys haven't done so yet, please subscribe, please like, please send us out there. Enjoy us as much as you can. We're here for you. We're not here for us. But I will admit I enjoy doing this. So
I'm a little here for
definitely.
me. I like hanging out with you guys. I'm kind of here for me. You guys,
No.
mostly.
So leave a comment below after the video post what your favorite cover was, and we will do a drawing next Tuesday, give away some of Miss Laura's books. All right.
I already sent out the one from Tuesday. That one's out. So I think it was Wolf.
Nice.
Your book went in the mail today. So
It wasn't Heir to the Empire #1 for
No.
the Nerdvana? Okay, my
Definitely
fault.
wasn't,
My
Marty.
fault. I apologize.
I have a 9.8 that the guy who bought it from, I can have him sell it to you for a good price.
Ooh.
So, there you
Nice.
go. All right. So Tuesday, till next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Shake and bake and pull it back. Oh my gosh.
Hold on and get some, boy.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's three greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is In this, you shall know that the Lord is
Hold on and get some, boy.
Jack, here's the deal. I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is
What's in the box?